Hello, it's me again. Today is going to be a short lesson day and a Dreambox day. Make sure you're getting your 5 Dreambox lessons in a week, please. I'm going to have you work on these problems, and then we'll come back and solve them together. And then we'll do a few other real quick problems together, and I'll get you going onto your workbook pages in Dreambox. So go ahead and look at these problems, pause your computer, and work these out for me, please. Okay, our first problem is 6 times something equals to 30. Now, if I was thinking of a math fact family, I could say 6 times something equals 30, or something times 6 equals 30, or 30 divided by 6 equals something. So I want to know how many 6's there are in 30. So I could count by 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So that would be 5. So 6 times y, which would be 5, equals 30. This problem's the same thing. I could something times 7 equals 28. Or I could say 28 divided by 7 equals something. And on this one, I might do a number line and do some jumps. So 7, 14, 21, 28, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. So 7 times 4 is 28. 36 divided by something equals 9. Now, I'm going to say how many 9's are in 36. I'm going to say 36 divided by something, or by 9 equals something. And I know that I'm going to think of multiplication facts. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. This next one is 48 divided by r equals 8. So I want to know how many 8's there are in 48. I know 8 times 5 is 40, and then there's one more 8, so that's going to be 6. So 48 divided by 6 equals 8. Next one, it's a perimeter and area problem. Your perimeter is going to be pretty easy because you guys all know the formula for perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side until you're out. I always like to make my class label the other's 2 sides. So when I add them, I can do it easily. So I'm going to say 35 and 35 is 30 and 30 is 60, and 5 and 5 is 10. So that's 70. 5 and 5 is 10. So 70 plus 10 is 80 inches for the perimeter. And you notice my units are in inches, not square inches, because it's not area. Now for the area, I have 5 times 35. 5 times 35 you can do a lot of different ways. In fact, I'll probably try to do it 1 or 2 different ways for you. I'm going to take this and move it up here. Uh-oh. I just knocked my pen off. So I'm going to do 5 times 5. 5 times 35. I'm going to have to go and do it on my computer for you. So I'm going to break this into 5 times 30 plus 5 times 5. So I broke it into 5 times 30 plus 5 times 5. Now, 5 times 30 is going to be the same as 5 times 3, and I'm going to tack on a 0. So 5 times 30, 5 times 3 is 15. Tack on a 0, it's going to be 150. And 5 times 5 is 25. So 150 plus 25 is 175 inches, square inches. So my perimeter was 80 inches, and my area is 175 square inches. And I just figured out how my computer is working. Okay. And let's go and do our word problem. So, Max and Connor love their pet frogs. Max has 8 frogs, and they each have 6 warts. Connor has 7 frogs, and they each have 5 warts. How many warts do they have in all? Of course, I like to look at my last part first. I want to know how many warts they have in all. So I know I have to get a total on this. And I'm going to write my equation. Now, what I know about Max is he has 8 frogs. I'm going to do Max in red. Max has 8 frogs, and they each have 6 warts. So I'm going to have to do 8 times 6 for Max. Now I'm going to figure out Connor. Connor has 7 frogs. And they each have 5 warts. I don't know how many they're going to have in all, so I'm going to have to figure that out. So 8 times 6, I know 8 times 5 is 40. I need one more 8, so that's going to be 48. 7 times 5, 5s are easy, is 35. Now I have 48 plus 35. And I'm going to do it my favorite way of give a little, take a little. I'm going to give this 2, make this into 50, and make this into 33. And my answer is going to be 83 warts. Okay. I'm going to do just a couple more problems with you, and then I'll get you going on your lesson. I'm going to try to keep this to 10 minutes. Let's do this problem. Let's do 6 times 23. Now, I can do 6 times 23 a lot of different ways. I could do 23 6 times. Might not be the most efficient way. One, two, three, 4, 5. I'd like to do area model. I can take that 23 and break it into 20 and a 3 to those 6. Or I could do standard algorithm. So let's start with the area model. To do an area model, I'm just going to do 6 times 2 is 12. And that 0 is going to be my placeholder, so I'm going to tack it on to the end. I'm going to get 120. 6 times 3 is 18. If I add those together, I get 138. Let's see if I get it the same way. This 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Since this is the last one, I can just do it. So I got 138. So 6 times 23, 6 times 3 is 18. Put down an 8, carry a 1. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 more is 13. 138. Did it 3 different ways. Got the same answer every time. That's a good thing. Let's try one more. I'm going to let you try to do it, all on your very own, and then we'll do it together. Let's do 42 times 4. You pick your favorite way to multiply this problem together, and then I'll do it all. I'll do it 4 different ways for you. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it some different ways, and we'll see if you got the same answers I got. Let's start out with area model again. 4 times 4 is 16. Tuck that 0 on. I get 160. And 4 times 2 is 8. I add those together, I get 168. Let's do some jumps. My first jump of 42 gave me 42. I doubled that. I got 84. I tack 42 under there, I'll get 126. And 42 more is 168. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps of 42 is 168. We can do standard algorithm. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. Get 168. And this is lattice math. So 1 times 42 is 42. 2 42s, I doubled this number, so I'm just going to double that number. And I'm going to get 84. If I go from 2 to 4, I'm just doubling here, so I'm just going to double that. And once 84 and 84, 80 and 80 is 160, 4 and 4 is 8. I have 168. So we did the problem 4 different ways. Hopefully you ended up with 168 on yours. Today you have an assignment of 3 pages, 123, 124, and 125 in your student home connection book. So get those done. If anybody wants to hang out with me, I will do about another 10 minutes of math with some enrichment. So get your pencil and paper ready and do some enrichment with me. Here's your first enrichment problem. 4,632,452 times 6. Go ahead, shut your computer, or pause your computer, figure it out, and come back and see if you have the right answer with me. Now, some of you are going to say, this is going to be way too hard. But if you know how to multiply by 6, this problem's easy. 6 times 2 is 12. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1 is 37. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. Now I have to put a comma after every 3, because there are 3 in the house. So 4,632,452 times 6 is 27,794,712. Hopefully you weren't afraid of that problem. What my class has found out is if you're not afraid of math, you can do a lot of really fun stuff. And none of my students have ever been hurt by math. They just get better and better at it. So let's try this problem. So 38 times 14. You can try to do it any way you want. I'll do it a couple different ways with you when you come back. So you go ahead and try it, see what you get for an answer, and then I'll do it with you. So here we go. 38 times 14. I'll start with area model first with you. So I'm just going to take the first number and do 1 times 3 is 3. Now I have 2 zeros that are placeholders. So here I have to put 300. So 10 times 30 is 300. 10 times 8 is 80. 4 times 3 is 12. I need that 0 for a placeholder. So I have 120. And 4 times 8 is 32. If I add these together, I want to add these two. That gives me 200. 532. Let's try over here. Let's try in the ratio table. I'm going to do a times 38 ratio table, and I have to get 14 times 32. So I'm going to start with 2, and I'm going to double 38. 38 and 38 is 76. I double the 2 to get 4, so I'm going to double 76. 70 and 70 is 140, and 6 and 6 is 12. So that's 152. Now 10 times 38, I'm just going to do 1 times 38 and tack that 0 on. That's 380. These two give me 14, and that's what I'm multiplying by. So I have to add those two together. So 152, I get a 2, 3, 532. Same answer. Good job. Standard algorithm. I'm going to forget about that 1 until I'm all done with the 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Put down a 2. Carry a 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Now I'm going to go and multiply by a 10, so I have to put down a placeholder. I'd like to do Waldo, so I always remember him. 1 times 8 is 8. I put a line through that 3 because I didn't want to get confused. I already used it up. 1 times 3 is 3. And if I add these together, I get 532. Same answer. Good. Let's do one more. A little bit more difficult. Let's do 237 times 21. You go ahead and work on it in the way you want to do it, and then come back and check with me. All right, here we go. I have 237 times 21. Again, not a math problem that most of you are going to do in 3rd grade, but don't be afraid of it. It won't hurt you. Now, I'm going to do 237 times 21, and I'm going to do it in a ratio table. I know 1 times 237 is 237. 10 times 237, I'm just going to take that number and tack a 0 onto it. So it's 2,370. Now to do 20 times that, I just have to double that. So 2,370, 2,370. If I double that, I get 4,740. So to get 21, I just have to, that will give me 21. So I'm going to take that 4,740 and tack on 237. And I'm going to get 4,977. I hope I get that one to do it the other ways. Let's see. I'll do standard algorithm. I'm going to forget about the 2, just multiply by the 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I'm going to multiply it by a 20. So I can't have anything in here. I have to put Waldo down as my placeholder. 2 times 7 is 14. Put down a 4. Carry my 10. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. If I add these together, I get 4,977. Same answer I got over there. Outstanding. I'm going to change my color for this one. Now, I have 20 times 200. I'm going to do 2 times 2 is 4. And I have 1, 2, 3 placeholders to tack on. 2 times 3 is 6. And I have 2 zeros to tack on as placeholders. 2 times 7 is 14. Tack on another 0. 1 times 200 is 200. 1 times 30 is 30. 1 times 7 is 7. 4,000 plus 600 is 4,600. Plus 200 is 4,800. Plus 140 is 4,940. 4,977. Got the same answer all 3 ways. Multiplying, dividing, none of it's hard in math. Just have to try. I'll do one more problem with anybody who wants a fraction problem. And we're going to add a couple fractions. Actually, I'm going to do 2 problems for you to explain this. So, when I'm adding fractions, the denominator just tells me how many pieces my object's cut into. So that means this would be cut into 8 pieces. Now the top number tells me how many pieces I have. So on this one I have 7 pieces. And this one I have 8. I'm going to cut it into 8 pieces. So if I want to add these together, no matter what, it's still only going to be cut into 8 pieces, because both of those are cut into 8 pieces. So whenever I add fractions, I do not add the denominator together. I just have to add the numerator, because I have 7 pieces, and I have 5 pieces. So 7 plus 5 is 12. So I have 12/8. Now some of you are going to say, you know what? I can just take one of these pieces and move it over here. Then I'm going to have 1 whole and 4 left over out of 8. Then someone else is going to say, you know what? I know 4 out of 8 is equal to 1/2. So I have 1 whole and 1/2. So 7/8 plus 5/8 is equal to 1 whole and 1/2. Let's do one. You try it, and then I'll come back and do it with you. Oh, it's going the wrong way. You go ahead and try it, then I'll come back and solve it with you. So when I did this problem, I have 3/5 plus 4/5. So I drew my rectangle, I cut it into fifths, I colored in 3. Drew my rectangle, cut it into fifths, and I colored in 4. So 3/5 plus 4/5. Now remember, before I told you my denominator is going to stay the same because it's still cut into fifths. And 3 plus 4 is 7. So I end up with 7/5. And again, someone's going to say, you know what? I can take one of these fifths and move it over there and make this a whole one. And then I'm going to cross this one off because I moved it. So I ended up with 1 whole set of fifths and 2 left over. So 7/5 is equal to 1 whole and 2 fifths. Well, hopefully you enjoyed doing a little enrichment math. Have a good day. Get those 3 pages done in your book and do some dream box today. Goodbye.